Yeah, and another question. You sit at the back.
Earlier, I think we all agreed that we love music first, and the equipment is just the vehicle, your music lovers. I have to tell you that my wife is a great music lover. She plays instruments that I would never be able to play. She has a technical knowledge of music. She has demonstrably better hearing than I do. Recently, she evicted, well, I'm going to say she almost evicted me along with the power cords that I had brought into the bedroom system. I am wondering if you have any views about why this hobby, this enthusiasm and passion seems to be so almost exclusively of male interest, and can anything be done about it?
No. Frequently asked question number 3, I believe. I don't know if there's an answer. John?
Yes, it reminds me of the joke, you know, about the guy who goes to God and he said, well, how's it going? He says, God, I want you to tell me what goes on in a woman's mind. You know, how's the joke? I'm sorry, I'm not a terrible joker. But anyway, the punchline is that, God says, well, give me something more realistic, I spoiled the joke anyway. But anyway, the point is that there is no way to know what goes on inside a woman's mind if you're a man. Women are a source of endless mystery to me. I've been married 3 times. I regard myself as a beginner in the art of being married. My wife will assure you that I'm not that good. I don't know why so many women don't see what there is to be got out of high-end audio.
I suspect that men tend to be more acquisitive and like hardware. I am a bluegrass musician on the side, and I play with almost as many women as men when I go out and jam with them. There's, excellent fiddlers and mandolin players I know who are women. And when I'm with the guys, the guy pickers who are always talking, okay, how thick is your tortoiseshell pick? What gauge pick do you use, and which gauge strings do you use, and how many guitars do you have? And when I talk to the women musicians I play with, I use whatever strings. I'm more interested in my playing technique. There seems to be, in every field that I've followed personally as a hobby, women tend to be less hardware oriented, better for worse.
Less technically oriented, the same kind of thing in photography. Of course, there are many very gifted women photographers, but the ones that I have seen the interviews with, or people that I've talked to, they're much less interested in the hardware and more interested in the artistic aspects, whereas men are more likely to be, well, there's a new 5D Mark II, have you bought it yet, that sort of thing. And there just seems to be, if you like, a socialization of little boys and men to be interested in mechanical things, trucks and that kind of thing, which translates into a number of other fields, including audio, where there's emphasis on hardware. And audio combines both the artistic and the technical aspect, and men seem to be certainly more heavily loaded on the technical. There are, of course, some women involved in audio at the professional level who are very successful and they're very good at what they do. So it's not 100%. And sometimes they have difficulty getting across to even other women that there is a technical aspect that's important, and there's as well as an artistic aspect. So it's not necessarily easy to be a woman in audio, but some have been extremely successful at it.
I mean, maybe it's changed now, but when I was younger, I met my second wife because she moved into our neighborhood and she needed somebody to help her set up her hi-fi system. And a number of my friends have met their wives through, being able to set up a hi-fi system was a sort of, an attractive, something that women found attractive in a man. Does that still happen?
I think it does, actually.
Okay.
I think hi-fi, a lot of gear tends to be very big, and every woman I've ever loved, and every woman I've ever dated, they've all had more music than I've had. They've all had more music. But their gear, their hi-fi, they didn't have a hi-fi, they had a boombox, it didn't matter. And they've been interested in the gear, And Kelly was very interested in the gear, as long as it was small and out of the way.
Well, my wife, to my shame, she has a bigger collection of CDs than I do, and she has a boombox.
Yeah.
And the reason is, and she likes my system and she'll listen to it occasionally, but the boombox goes with her to where she is. Whereas the hi-fi system, you have to go to.
I tend to
And,
be more
and men will do that, whereas maybe women will not.
I don't
With
want
a hi-fi system, you have to turn on a number of things. You have to turn on the power amps, and you have to turn on the preamp, and you have to make sure that the power line conditioner hasn't been turned off, and that sort of thing, and it just gets to be too complicated. Whereas with a single boombox, you put on your CD, press play, and you've got music.
There's a sexual metaphor in there somewhere.
No.
Foreplay.
The question
Just back on the issue of the health of the community, what are you hearing from retailers and manufacturers about the effects of the economic downturn? Are there some big trouble here, or okay?
It's a great question.
It's a really good question. Is what do we hear about the effects of the current recession on audio retailers and audio manufacturers? It's been very hard. There are a number of well-known brands who are right now living hand to mouth economically, but they're having to face fundamental questions of, how, do we meet payroll next month, or do we introduce a new product? Do we push it back in order we can meet payroll for another month? Sales of audio stopped dead around about October in the United States for many brands, and some brands have seen a revival. The last month, one manufacturer was telling me yesterday his 2008 tailed off towards the end of the year, and then in January, February, it wasn't that he sold less, he didn't sell anything. And he was very concerned, obviously. And then in March, it started to pick up again. And this is a company that makes good audiophile, good value products. If you look at Stereophile right now, we're publishing thinner issues because there is less advertising support from manufacturers. Some dealers are doing well, and I was told last night at dinner that Canadian dealers in general are doing better than American dealers, and it was conjectured that this is because Canadian dealers tend to be smaller, more focused on their community, more part of their town, and haven't lost sight of what their role is, which, as I said right at the very beginning, which is to be in some ways to be a social center for the music lovers in their community. They put on events, they put on musical evenings. If they have a new product, they'll do an evening where they invite their customers in to listen to the new product. And in America, in the USA, with some exceptions, dealers haven't been doing that. They've been chasing, the big box sales of the big home theater systems and of the, multi-million-dollar custom installations, and maybe they forgot how to be dealers in the most fundamental sense, but the Canadian dealers haven't. I don't know what is going to happen in the long term, because the recession is not just North America, it's worldwide. And I think it's going to take quite some time to dig us out of the hole.
Was it when we were speaking with Peter McGrath yesterday? I think he was the person who made the point that he is seeing.
That's Peter McGrath from Wilson Audio.
That hard times. One good aspect of it is they do tend to get rid of some of the weasels, and in any industry there's always a few weasels, and this will kill them. Unfortunately, it's like a harsh antibiotic. It kills the bugs that you want to kill. Also kills the bugs you don't want to kill, a few of them at least. So that's, and we don't know how much worse things are going to get.
Yeah, so these are hard times, no doubt about it. We'll see what will happen.